The future of NFTs is not art. You heard me. All these projects you see going around like CryptoPunk, Bored Ape Yacht Club, World of Women are not the end goal for NFTs. No one is arguing that these projects haven't been massively successful, but there's so much more to NFTs than just pixelated art, or even good art for that matter. So what are the potential use cases for NFTs beyond art and collectibles? And how will NFTs integrate into our daily lives in the coming decade? My name is Devin Cook. Let's talk the future of NFTs, and welcome back to DevMoney. So first off, for the people new to the NFT world, what even are NFTs? Quick overview. NFTs can be thought of as digital property that give you ownership of something that can be authenticated. Many of the things that we think we own, we actually don't. Do you have books on Audible, movies or music on iTunes? Have you bought maps or skins on Call of Duty or Fortnite? You're probably answering yes to at least one of those because most people these days have bought a digital movie, song, or map on a video game. And you probably think you own that thing, but really you don't. All you did was purchase a license to use that digital item on a certain digital platform. And if that digital platform that you bought it on ceases to exist, for example, maybe Audible goes out of business, poof, there goes all of your books that you spent so much money on. And if you think this isn't possible, well, it may not be very likely, but this exact same thing happened with Microsoft's bookstore several years ago. When Microsoft's bookstore went out of business, anyone who bought those books didn't have them anymore. They were gone. So while it's unlikely that a platform like iTunes goes away and you lose all of your music and movies, it is possible, and we have to consider that. And NFTs offer an intriguing solution to this problem as well as many others. But before we get into that, why have NFTs become so popular in the first place? Why are we seeing all of these digital art and collectibles going around? Currently, NFTs are viewed really as collectibles, and that explains the crazy prices that we're seeing. I think one of the main reasons that NFT art and collectibles have taken off so much in this last year is because the art industry was already a bit quirky and strange, and people were used to putting a ton of money into art. People would drop 5, 6, or even 7 figures on art without even batting an eye. So when NFT art became available, it made sense that the prices would go so high because the art industry was already used to crazy prices. And as humans, we love ownership. We want to own the things that we have around us. And so digital art is really not so far-fetched of a concept, especially when you consider how digital our lives are becoming every single day. But art and collectibles are really just scratching the surface of what NFTs are capable of. I do believe we're still gonna have NFT art and NFT collectibles in the future. I don't think they're going away, so don't go rush off and sell all of your NFTs. But I think the real future of NFTs is the ownership of digital assets with utility. And here are 7 examples of just that and how it can work in the future. One of the first applications I really see taking on is in the gaming space. We already see some of this happening in the NFT world with Axie Infinity and some others as well. Because imagine some of the popular video games implemented NFTs into their platform. So when you go and play the new Call of Duty, you can buy upgrades, you can buy maps, you can buy different add-ons, and then those can carry on with you to the next Call of Duty release. Or what if there was a special upgrade or uniform that you could purchase in a limited quantity and then potentially sell on into the future? The ability to carry your upgrades from game to game and even sell them in the future is one of the benefits of having NFTs implemented into our video games. Because when you have NFT, you have ownership and you can sell it at your discretion. The second major way that NFTs will be implemented is with legal documents. I predict that in the future, we won't be getting a physical passport or a physical driver's license. And we're already seeing some states in the US release digital driver's licenses that you can store on your phone. In the future, the government's gonna issue passports, driver's license, social security cards, birth certificates, immigration cards, and every other legal document as an NFT. The benefit to doing this is because since each NFT is completely unique, your NFT passport or driver's license will be unique to mine and vice versa. And when you travel to another country, you'll be able to pull up your digital wallet on your phone and have your NFT passport scanned and authenticated. This is gonna happen across the board in the government as well as with businesses. It's just gonna take some time, like many of these things. And speaking of business, the third example has to do with real estate, because selling real estate is one of the most complicated assets that can be sold by the typical person. And each piece of real estate is unique, just like an NFT. It's non-fungible. And typically when you sell real estate, you go through an escrow company, which is basically just a middleman that makes sure that the seller and the buyer uphold their end of the bargain and all the money goes to the correct places. Well, since NFTs are built on Ethereum with smart contracts, which is basically just a fancy way of saying that it's programmable money, NFTs are going to play a big part in future real estate sales. For example, each piece of real estate in the future can have an NFT tied to it, which will store all of the build information, all of the square footage data, as well as the deed and other important documentation baked right into that NFT. And the NFT can be programmed in such a way that when the buyer sends the appropriate money to the seller, the NFT and the ownership of that property will automatically transfer to the buyer. And as someone who has sold real estate estate for a living, this is pretty exciting for me and I can't wait to see this happen. The fourth example is a music streaming service which is built on the blockchain with each song represented as an NFT. This would give musicians a whole lot more control over their music, the ownership of their music, as well as any royalties that they receive when people download and listen to their music. Spotify has even purchased a blockchain company that can potentially do this, but they've yet to roll it out. The fifth example has to do with luxury goods and the authentication of these goods. So imagine for a second that you're gonna go buy a Louis Vuitton bag or something from Supreme, or maybe a flawless diamond or a luxury watch. Well, luxury companies like Louis Vuitton will be able to create an NFT that represents each item that they're creating. And then throughout the process of that item being manufactured, the NFT can be scanned to have its metadata updated. That way, when you go to the store to buy that Louis Vuitton bag, you can check the NFT to see where it was manufactured, how long it was in each process, when it was sent to the distribution center, when it was sent to the retail store, and so on and so forth. You'll even be able to see photos of that item's journey throughout the manufacturing process. And of course, when you buy the Louis bag, that NFT is transferred to you, so that way you can prove its authenticity and even sell it in the future. The same can be true for diamonds and luxury watches like Rolex. Rolex watches are one of the most counterfeited watch brands in the world. And with NFTs, Rolex can use that same process that I just went through so that each person who buys a Rolex gets an NFT with it to prove it's authentic. Pretty exciting stuff, right? And if this has been interesting for you, consider subscribing because it really helps push these videos and my channel to more people just like you. Thanks. Now, have you ever been to an NFT restaurant? Well, me neither, but Gary Vee is creating the first NFT restaurant that's gonna be launching later next year. And to get access to this restaurant is gonna be exclusively through the NFTs that this restaurant will be issuing. It's not completely clear yet how this will work out for the restaurant and how many times people will be trading these restaurant NFTs, but this isn't theory because it's actually happening, and we'll just have to wait till later next year to see how it actually works. And the seventh future use case for NFTs is with sports and events tickets. Again, Gary Vee is already implementing this with his upcoming VCon conference through his VFriends NFTs, and sports teams in the NFL, NBA, and many others will be using this as well to sell tickets. Imagine if instead of purchasing a season pass to your favorite sports team, you purchase an NFT that grants you access to the games just like the season pass did. But now since it's an NFT, you can sell it to someone else later down the road if you decide you're not going to be able to make it to the rest of the games. And if your sports team does exceptionally well that season and maybe even wins the championship like the Super Bowl, your season pass NFT could potentially even keep its value or even increase in value because it could be considered as a sports collectible at that point. And these are just some of the exciting use cases for NFTs in the future. And if you're interested in learning more, setting up your digital wallet, and buying your first NFTs, make sure to click this video right here.